Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. I hope all of you doing well. In labor economics, today we are going to explore Human Development Index, that is the HDI. Learning outcome: after watching this video, you will be able to understand what is Human Development Index, HDI, components of HDI, calculation of HDI, and data sources used in develop and calculate the HDI. So first of all, we define the Human Development Index. Definition: the Human Development Index is a statistical tool used to measure a country's overall achievement in its social and economic dimensions. The social and economic dimensions of a country are based on the health of people, their level of education, attainment, and their standard of living. Human Development Index is an index that measures the key dimensions of the human development. There are three key dimensions, which are a long and healthy life, measured by the life expectancy; access to education, measured by expected years of schooling of children at school, entry age, and mean years of schooling of adult population; and in the last, a decent standard of living, measured by the gross national income per capita, adjusted for the price level of a country, that is the adjusted from inflation. Now we discuss in detail the different components of the HDI. There are three components of HDI, namely health, education, standard of living. Now we one by one discuss these three components. The first of all, health, life expectancy. The first component of the HDI, a long and healthy life, is measured by the life expectancy. Number two, education, expected and average years of schooling. The second component, access to education, is measured by the expected years of schooling of children at school entry age and the mean years of schooling of the adult population. Education has been one of the most integral drivers and outcomes of the global development. Mean years of schooling estimates the average number of years of total schooling and adults aged 25 years and older have received. This data extends back to the years 1870 and is based on the combination of the data from Lee and Lee 2016, Barrow and Lee 2018, and UNDP program. Expected years of schooling measures the number of the years of schooling that child of school entrance age can expected to receive if the current age specific enrollment rates persist throughout the child's life by the country. The third one and the last, the standard of living, which is measured by the GNI per capita. The architects of the HDI have decided to add the third dimensions, a decent standard of living, measures it by the gross national income per capita, that is the GNI per capita. How is the Human Development Index calculated? The Human Development Index HDI provides a single index measure to capture the three key dimensions of human development: a long and healthy life, access to knowledge, and decent standard of living. The HDI utilizes four key metrics: life expectancy at birth to assess a long and healthy life, expected years of schooling to assess access to knowledge of young generation, average years of schooling to assess access to knowledge of the older generation, gross national income, that is the GNI per capita, to assess the standard of living. Now we discuss the steps of calculating the HDI. There are two steps to calculate the HDI: formatting the indices for each of the four metrics. Values of each of the four metrics are first normalized to an index of the value 0 to 1. To do this, goalpost of the maximum and the minimum limits each matrix are set by the UNDP methodology, with the actual value for a given country and the global maximum and the minimum. The dimension value for each matrix is calculated as. Here is the formula for the dimension index. Dimension index is equal to actual value received from a country, a minimum value, maximum value, minus minimum value. The dimension index is therefore 1 in a country that achieves the maximum value, and it is 0 for a country that is at the minimum value. Step 2. Aggregating the four metrics to produce the HDI. Once each of the individual indices have been calculated, they are aggregated to calculate the HDI. The HDI is calculated as the geometric mean of the life expectancy, education, and GNI per capita as follow. Here is the formula for the HDI: index of health multiplied by index of education multiplied by index of income, whole raised to the power 1 by 3 or cube root. The education dimension is the arithmetic mean of the two education indices, mean of years of schooling, expected years of schooling. Now we discuss the data sources. United Nations Development Program. The United Nations Development Program is the institution that publishes the Human Development Index, geographical average globally by the country and the world region, and HDI level. Time span from 1982 onwards. Available at the UNDP Development Program data page. Now, today's activity include, first of all, I will let you know the maximum and minimum value of the HDI after calculation. The minimum value is 0 of this index and the maximum value is 1. 1 mean the country achieved the highest level of the HDI, Human Development Index, and 0 mean no HDI. So the average value is between the 0.5, that is the 50%. So kindly explore this link to check the rank of your country and Asian countries. Thank you.